Groot's MCU journey begins in Guardians of the Galaxy. From the moment we meet him, he stands out a towering tree-like being who can only say three words.
I'm Groot. I am Groot!
Yet somehow, every time he says it, it means something completely different. That's because Groot's language is tonal, not verbal, understood only by those who know how to listen. Rocket does. Eventually, so do the Guardians. Even Thor claims he learned it as an elective on Asgard. But there's more to this version than his vocabulary. Adult Groot is a Flora colossus, a rare, powerful species from Planet X. Their bark-like bodies are dense, strong enough to withstand bullets, fire, and even dismemberment. They can extend their limbs like vines, regenerate from wounds almost instantly, and emit glowing spores that light up the darkness. They're built for survival, but this Groot, he's built for connection. Despite his limited speech, Adult Groot is emotionally expressive. He forms a deep bond with Rocket, not just as a partner in crime, but as a best friend. He's gentle with strangers, fierce with enemies, and ultimately, selfless. In the climax of the first Guardians film, when the team's ship is crashing and death feels inevitable, Groot surrounds his friends in a cocoon of his own limbs, sacrificing himself with the words,
We are Groot.
It's a simple phrase, but in that moment, it means everything. This version of Groot isn't just a powerhouse. He's the heart of the Guardians, and with his death, something new is born. From one heroic ending comes a new beginning. Rocket saves a tiny twig from Groot's remains and plants it in a pot. That twig grows, dances, and becomes Baby Groot. This version quickly became a fan favorite, and it's easy to see why. He's tiny, wide-eyed, and full of chaotic energy. He dances to the Jackson 5, struggles with directions, and gets distracted by literally everything. But beneath the cuteness is real capability. Baby Groot helps Rocket and Yondu escape a Ravager prison, sneaks through enemy territory, and even plants the bomb that destroys Ego the Living Planet. He's unpredictable, but brave. Adorable, but deadly. Innocent, yet full of attitude, especially when his music is taken away. But it's his emotional intelligence that makes Baby Groot so much more than a toy line. In one post-credit scene, he dances to his heart's content, but immediately stops when he notices Drax watching. It's not just shyness. Drax once fell in love with a woman who didn't dance because she stood out in a crowd. Groot remembers that. Even in his smallest form, Groot is listening, learning, and connecting. He might not be the same Groot as before, but he carries that same spirit forward. With time and probably way too much screen time on his tablet, Baby Groot grows into a moody teenager. In Avengers Infinity War, we meet Teen Groot, grumpy, sarcastic, and glued to his video game device. He talks back, rolls his eyes, and generally wants nothing to do with the adults around him, until the universe is at stake. When Thor is injured and needs a handle for his new weapon, Stormbreaker, Groot doesn't hesitate. He cuts off part of his own arm using it as the hilt of the weapon that would later help kill Thanos. Just like that, we're reminded, no matter how angsty or annoyed he gets, Groot always shows up when it matters. Teen Groot fights alongside the Avengers in Wakanda, stands firm against impossible odds, and survives the snap, only to be dusted in one of the most heartbreaking moments in the MCU. I am Groot, he says, and according to James Gunn, he's actually saying, Dad? Yeah, let that hit. After the dust settles, Groot returns once again, this time in his strongest, most physically imposing form yet. Fans call him Swole Groot, and he debuts in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, continuing into Volume 3. He's bulkier, broader, and clearly more confident. This Groot fights with strategy. He's also picked up some wild new skills, like Kaiju Mode, which lets him suddenly expand into a giant towering over his enemies. He can also sprout wings, wield multiple weapons at once, and regenerate entire sections of his body from only his head. A brand new level of durability. And yet, despite his intimidating look, he's still the same lovable Groot underneath, cracking jokes, fighting alongside his family, and keeping that deep emotional bond with the Guardians. Young adult Groot represents something crucial in his arc: maturity without losing identity. He's evolving, not into something new, but into the fullest version of himself. And then, the future. In the Guardians Volume 3 post-credits scene, fans got a shocking glimpse at the next possible evolution of Groot, a towering, monstrous version that dwarfs everything we've seen before. Some are calling him Alpha Groot. Others refer to him as King Groot, referencing a version seen in the Marvel Contest of Champions video game, where he's ruler of Planet X and commands nature itself. This form is no longer about potential. It's about dominion, massive in size, crowned with twisted vines, glowing with green energy. This version of Groot seems less like a guardian and more like a god. Could this be where our Groot is headed? The ultimate phase of his evolution? One thing's for sure. This is the version that makes the viewer ask, how far can Groot really go? Every form of Groot isn't just a design change, it's a chapter in a story about growth. Adult Groot showed us sacrifice. Baby Groot symbolized rebirth. Teen Groot represented rebellion and loyalty. Young adult Groot, strength with purpose. And Alpha Groot is the future. Despite saying just one phrase, Groot has told one of the most emotional arcs in the entire MCU, without ever needing to speak a full sentence.
I'm Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot!